Okay, so what if our most critical tech, the machines that mine our resources, grow our food, and protect our assets, what if they could operate completely without the internet? We're about to dive into a pretty radical new philosophy that makes this possible, and it's called sovereign automation. Yeah, this quote, it really cuts to the core of the problem, doesn't it? We've basically built our entire modern world on this assumption of constant connectivity. But what happens when that connection breaks? For critical infrastructure, we're talking remote mines, farms, disaster zones. That's not just some inconvenience. It's a catastrophic point of failure. And look, this isn't just about your Netflix stream buffering. We have to think way bigger. When a generator dies in the middle of a remote jungle, or a water pump fails where there's zero cell service, you can't just wait for a connection. Our total reliance on the cloud has created this single massive weak spot for our most essential systems. Okay, so the way most of our systems work right now is kind of simple, but also kind of crazy. Imagine our machines and our infrastructure. They're like the arms and legs, but the brain is in a data center thousands of miles away. Now, this centralized model, it's not just vulnerable to outages. It also exposes all this critical data to surveillance and, privacy risks. So what if we could just give the limbs their own brain? And that's exactly where this new philosophy comes in, sovereign automation. It's a concept that totally flips that cloud-first model right on its head. So instead of sending all your data to the brain, it brings the brain directly to the data, right there at the edge, where all the work is actually getting done. So at the very heart of this whole thing is a concept they call island mode. We're talking about technology that's designed from the ground up to be completely autonomous. Imagine a system that doesn't just, survive an internet outage, but is actually built to thrive in one, to make intelligent, complex decisions all on its own. This is a huge shift in thinking. Instead of shipping all your data off to some remote AI to be processed, the sovereign model brings the AI directly to your data. The logic, the information, the control, it all lives on hardware that you own. It's a real move away from corporate dependency and a step toward true technological sovereignty.
Right, but look, this isn't just some software fantasy. This whole idea of sovereign automation, it needs a physical foundation. It needs a whole new class of hardware. We're talking rugged, powerful, localized computers that are built to survive in the absolute harshest environments on Earth.
So this whole ecosystem is really built on three key pillars. You've got the Sovereign Sentry, that's the local brain. Then there's the Sovereign Deck, which is this tactical, totally waterproof tablet for people to use out in the field. And finally, the Nomad Link, which gives you a super resilient data connection, but only when it's absolutely necessary. This is hardware designed for engine bays, not for boardrooms. And the ghost in the machine here, the thing powering all this hardware, is a specialized AI framework called OpenClaw. Think of it like the local operating system for autonomy. It's the adaptive intelligence that takes these rugged little boxes and transforms them into hyper-specialized agents, each one an expert at its own specific job. Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, but how does this actually work in the real world? Let's take a look at a few of these specialized AI agents in action, just to see what they can really do, completely offline. All right, first up, let's meet the field medic. The idea here is simple. Imagine a master mechanic, someone with like 50 years of experience that you can fit right inside a tool bag. And check out the workflow. It's designed for a technician wearing fit gloves, in the middle of nowhere. They just take a picture of some rusted, unknown part. The AI, running right there on the device, instantly cross-references that image with a 4 terabyte database of manuals. And boom, it identifies the part and spits out simple, step-by-step repair instructions. All of this happens in milliseconds with zero signal. The impact of this is it's staggering. For a remote mining camp, for example, a single day of downtime can cost upwards of $50,000 while they wait for a specialist to get flown in. This little agent prevents those massive losses by basically turning any junior mechanic into an expert, solving the problem in minutes instead of days. Okay, now let's completely shift gears to a totally different domain, protecting priceless physical assets. Let's meet the Vault Warden. Now, this is not your average passive security camera. The Vault Warden uses LiDAR to create this incredibly precise 3D digital cage around an asset. Now, if it detects any physical change, and we're talking as little as 2 millimeters, it doesn't just sit there and record it. It acts. It instantly locks magnetic doors, it triggers sirens, it sends an alert. It responds way faster than any human guard possibly could. And just to show you the incredible breadth of this philosophy, let's look at how it could be applied to voting. The sovereign elector system creates a voting precinct that's completely disconnected from the internet, what's called being air-gapped. It separates your identity from your vote, it uses the hardware itself to mathematically prove the integrity of each ballot, and, this is crucial, it prints a paper trail that you can verify yourself. It's a system that's really designed from the ground up to rebuild trust through provable technology. So, what does all this add up to? I mean, it's more than just a collection of really impressive gadgets, right? It's a potential blueprint for a whole new digital future, one that's built on resilience, on privacy, and on true technological self-reliance. Okay, so the core principles really boil down to these 4 pillars. First, a local-first AI. You bring the AI to the data. Second, zero cloud resilience. You design systems to work offline right from the start. Third, absolute data sovereignty. Your data is your data, period. And finally, cyber-physical action. You create AI that can actually interact with and change the physical world around it. And all of this leaves us with one final, and I think, crucial question. In a world that's becoming more and more automated, where technology is literally embedded in everything we do, who do you want holding the off switch? The company 1,000 miles away? Or you?